Welcome back. In today's session, we will see an interesting topic of PHP, that is sending email. Email. Email is one of the platform where we can connect for the official communication. The emails are getting sent by the sender across the globe with personal official data to the receiver. Now we know that for email we need the fields like to to whom to send the email, the subject matter of the email, and actual message or the matter that we want to send as a data, and you can write from and the send button. So that functionality we are going to demonstrate in PHP. Now, why there is a need for learning all this as a programmer? You might have observed many of the times when we get message on the WhatsApp or uh, anything or email, we download that document, and when we open that file, and sometimes we get option like three dots for sharing that option, and when we click on share it shows multiple option: share via WhatsApp, via email, or Dropbox, or etc. So if we select email, by default it shows an option to send an email. So how this email functionality works? So we have to understand the predefined function which is available for this email functionality, that is mail function. Here we have to give parameters like to. Here we have to mention the email ID of the receiver, the subject matter, the subject line of the email, and the message, actual message that we want to send. And in the header we can mention the parameters like the CC and BCC option of the email. CC means the carbon copy and BCC means the blind carbon copy. And if you want to mention from and your details as a sender, you can write that in the header. Now let us try sending an email to the user. Now I am just writing one PHP script for sending email to myself. Now I have to use the mail function. That's it. So let us try forming that mail function. Start PHP tag. Suppose I am having $2 variable where I want to give the email ID of the receiver. Suppose I am giving email ID of the receiver over here. This is my official email ID. And suppose for subject I am using s variable where I am writing the subject. Suppose uh, regarding PHP tutorials. This is our subject which will appear on the subject line of email, and actual message that I want to form, that suppose I am taking into message variable. And here I am writing a message for me. Um, this testing email through PHP mail function, or any matter that you want to write. And you the header and parameter last fields are optional one. Header and parameters, here you can mention from, CC, BCC, other email IDs that you want to use. Now we have to use the mail function. Now if it gets successfully done, it will return true. So in mail function I am giving $2, then $s, and then suppose dollar message, and here suppose I want to mention from where I am getting a message, suppose f variable for mentioning the what I can say from, like suppose from I am giving here my email id, and or else you can give the sender email id. This is just to demonstrate the parameter, that's it, s message, and this is dollar f field. And if this mail function gets executed correctly, it will return true. Then we will show a message on the screen like echo email sent successfully message. And else if it fails, we have to give a message like echo sorry, email sending failed. And close the php tag. Suppose I am saving this file under XAMPP htdocs with f2.php file, and we will start our XAMPP control panel, which will start our Apache and MySQL services. We will jump to our localhost 8080. Localhost has started. I have kept my email id open over here. This is the current scenario of email id. Now we have to run our php file, that is f2.php. Now let's see what it shows. Yes, this is what warning we have received. Failed to connect to mail server at localhost port 25. For the sending email SMTP, that is simple mail transfer protocol, which is getting used on port number 25 on localhost server, is not working. It has failed to send an email. So we have to change the setting in php.ini file. Now this will appear on your system definitely. Now how, what setting we have to do for this? Now for this, go to the XAMPP control panel. In front of Apache, click on config and select php.ini file. Control F and search for SMTP, because it is showing that there is an failure of functionality at SMTP port number 25. So we will search that line. So here it is showing SMTP at localhost and the SMTP port 25 over here. Now what we will do here, we have to write few configuration setting instead of changing in the original file. Just mention over here that SMTP simple mail transfer protocol. Here we are going to use smtp.gmail.com as our domain, and I am changing the port smtp underscore port, whi- which is by default 25 over here. I am not changing anything to the original file. I am changing here smtp underscore port is equal to, suppose I am using 587 number for the port, and there are also file statements for this over here, which are in the comment section. If we remove over here the comment section and we can change the setting, it will also work. But instead of that, I am writing a new code over here. So send mail underscore from, and here we have to write sender gmail.com. This is a domain we are specifying over here from where we are going to send, and we have to give the path send mail underscore path is equal to, here we have to mention the path of our exe file, and that is available in our XAMPP htdocs folder. Let me show you. In C drive, and in C drive where we have XAMPP folder, in XAMPP folder we have send mail folder. In this send mail folder, we have two send mail file. One is the configuration file, and the first one is application, that is executable file. So from properties you can retrieve the path, that is c colon XAMPP, and we have to give the name of the file c colon XAMPP slash, and the name of our folder, that is send mail, and the name of our exe was sendmail dot exe space give slash t. That is the executable path of our sendmail file in the given folder path under XAMPP and under sendmail folder. And last line we have to add, that is mail dot add underscore x underscore header is equal to on. This is the setting. All these lines are already available. If you can observe here, here we have SMTP port is equal to 25. We could have changed over here as a 587. This same mail from line is also available. You could have removed the semicolon, that is comment, and mention the given path over here. We have to give the send mail path that we have written over here. We have to give the send mail exe path in front of this, that, and this is the mail add x header, that is header parameter that we want to add in the mail functionality, that is by default off. We are switching to that to the on. So instead of typing that code, you can change in the line as well, remove their semicolon over here, that is remove the comment part. But instead of doing that, I have written this line. I will share this line of code in the description of this tutorial. Now, once we are done with the changes, save the file and close the file. Now, second setting that we have to change is go to the htdocs folder, go to the XAMPP folder. In that we have sendmail folder, and here we have two sendmail file. One is the executable file that we have already worked on it. Now in the sendmail, that is in the configuration file, right click on this, go to the open with option as a notepad. Here again search for the SMTP option and click enter. Here we are coming to this line. Here we have to do again few changes, so you can change over here. Here at this line SMTP underscore server, here we have to, this is the example of domain. Here we have to change the setting that we have given in the php.ini file, that is smtp.gmail.com. It should be the same as that we have given in the php.ini. Here we have to give smtp port, which was 587 in php.ini, and in this option we know that there are two operations, or rather we can see the two settings like ssl secure socket layer and tls, that is transfer layer security. So that two are the extensions of the protocol that use for security of our mail. And here at this line smtp underscore ssl, instead of auto we have to write TLS, that is we are going to use TLS. Next, this is the line. Make sure that here there is no comment. Error log file is equal to error log. There is no change. Just make sure there is no comment for this line. And next line is debug log file. Here there is a comment. So remove this semicolon for removing the comment. And last two changes that we have to do over here, that is auth underscore username and password. Here we have to give the email ID of the sender from where we want to send the email. Here I am giving email ID of myself, and that I am writing over here. Now here I in the single quote you have to write the username. Now you have to give the actual password of your email ID, because the system will log in into the your email mentioned email ID with the mentioned password, and it will be used uh, to send the email. Now I am entering my password over here. After entering that password, we have to save the file and we have to close it. Now I am minimizing the file to enter my password so that it should not be visible to you. So I am entering the password, and let's see, it has not entered. Okay, so I am entering and later I will change it. Okay, file has been saved. Close the file. And now stop the XAMPP services, Apache services, and we have to restart our services. And let's see, our XAMPP control panel is running. So both are running. Minimize the control panel, go to the local host, start our local host, and we have written the PHP file to send email to myself, and with the given subject matter and with the header, and I have used the mail function. Let's try to run the file f2.php. I am running the file. Let's see what we get over here, whether the setting has been applied and it's working fine. We got the message email sent successfully. Let's check for the inbox whether I have received an email or not. Yes, I got email to me on this email ID and with myself regarding PHP tutorial, and whatever subject matter I have written over here is mentioned here. This is how the mail function work. Suppose if there is still you are getting an error for just one more setting, if you can change for your account, if it is not working after all this setting in your account over here, check for less secure app option if it is available or not. If it is not, then it's fine, it will work out. Because for in the old version it was showing that less secure app setting was off, so we have to enable that setting. See, access to less secure app was turned on the Feb 22 on my system. If you get that option, you have to just enable that option. Like let me show you how it will look like. In your account, you have to go to your account, you have to search for less secure app access, and by default it is disabled or off. You have to just make it on. That's it, and you have to run the file again. Now this is how we have executed the code. Now suppose we want to design an HTML file with this to subject, message, and from field, and then we have to send the file to the receiver. So we will design an HTML file with the input control for all this application. Let's design the HTML file. HTML body form method is equal to, we will give f2.php name, and method is equal to post. And here suppose I am designing two, and in front of this I want a text box. Input type is equal to text, and name of this text box suppose I am giving as 2. After this I want the break tag, and we will repeat this. Here I want to design a field like 2, and here I want to show from. Input type is equal to text. I am giving name as from, and here I am giving suppose a subject, and in name I am giving name as sub, and suppose what matter in the email we want to give, that I am taking in front of label message. And here the single line editor will not be okay, so we will design a text area field having number of rows is equal to suppose 20, column is equal to 30, and name of this text area suppose I am giving as message. And we have to end the text area field. We have to give the double quotes to the number of rows and number of calls in the text area field. After that, we have to design a button. Input type is equal to submit, name is equal to, because I am giving OK, and I want to display a caption like value is equal to send email. And I want to design another type of button, so I will design that reset type of button. Reset name is equal to cancel, and here I want to give option suppose clear. We have to end the form, we have to end the body tag, end HTML tag. We will save this file under XAMPP htdocs with f1.html file. And now let's see how this file will look like, f1.html. So this is our compose box we have designed in short. So here in two we have to give the email ID to whom we want to send. In from field we have to give the email ID of sender, and we have to give the subject, and in the matter we have to type the matter, and in on clicking on submit button we have to send email to the mentioned email ID in front of two. Uh, Now refresh the file. Okay, that was the previous one. f1.html, we have refreshed the file, and this is our design. Now we have to write the f2.php file for reading all the fields that the user has entered over here, and we have to form the mail function from these values which are entered by the user. So we will write that f2.php over here with the start php tag. And if button is set, we want to send email only if the button is clicked, so we are applying validation here for the button. I am retrieving the button directly in the isSet function, and here we have to give the name of our button. Now the name of our submit type of button is that we will check in the F1 file. The name of submit type button is OK. So we will write here OK, close this bracket, close the round bracket. If button is clicked, if each set returns true, then only what we will do in $t variable, we will read the form field which is having name 2. It means text box from this two text box value will be read in t variable. Same we will repeat for rest of the parameter. We have to read the from, subject and message. So for from I am using F, writing here from. For subject suppose I am using S, the here the name of that subject text box is sub, so we will write over here as a field name sub, and that we are taking into S variable. Now left is message. We have to read the message suppose in M variable from the message text area. Done. Now we have taken all the variables over here. Now we have to use the mail function. If the mail function is formed from this $t dollar s, that is subject, and suppose $m, that is the message I want to send, and if it returns true, it means we have to show that email successfully sent, and if it fails we have to show a message sorry, and we have to close the if bracket. If the button is not click, then we have to give a message, please click on send email button. Close of php tag. Save this f2.php file under xampp htdocs folder, and let's see, refresh our f1.html file. In the to field, suppose before that I am clearing the email box. This is, I am refreshing the inbox of my email id. There is no error, there is no recent email. So in the to field I am sending email to myself from my email id. In the subject I am mentioning uh, regarding tomorrow's schedule, and in the matter I am writing a message, dear students, tomorrow tomorrow I will be conducting practical batch of B2 and B3 at 12:25 in lab 115, and I will conduct practical of batch 1 in lab 115 at 2:15 p.m. This is the message, and let's click on send email button. For this we need to change one more setting in the XAMPP folder. Go to the sendmail folder. In that, open this sendmail configuration file in the notepad and search for force word. Click on enter and you will see the force underscore sender is equal to blank. Here, give your email ID from where you want to send the email. Save the file, close the file, and restart the server. And let's execute our f1.html file. Give the email ID of the recipient. I am sending an email to myself, and in the from my email ID I am mentioning, and subject I am giving suppose regarding test schedule, and in the matter you can write here whatever message you want to send. Click on send mail. Let's see if 2.php works fine over here. And do we get the message over here? Yes, we received message email successfully sent. And check the email box over here. I have received the email to me from myself regarding test schedule, and the matter is shown over here. So this is how we can send an email in PHP by all these settings that we have done. Hope you have understood this session for sending email in PHP using predefined mail function. Thank you.